Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Seth. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Two more Memorias again, right after I made my other video. Two more Memorias for in celebration for the release of Chapter 4 Part 2. We're going to be talking about the fire debuffer Io Megumi, and as well as the dark blaster Kuda Satomi. So yeah, let's get right into it. So first, one of my favorite Memorias in the game is the Miko Io Megumi fire debuffer. Like I said before, she has an exclusive skill that costs 15 SP. It does damage, puts up a great fire field for 8 turns, lowers fire defense for 2 turns on the enemy. The Great Fire Field grants around a 68% damage increase compared to SS1 Tojo's field, which is around 50%. It's not a crazy difference, but it still is 18% more damage for your fire characters. Aiko also gets a 2-turn fire defense down debuff, which equals to just more damage being dealt from your DPS compared to Tojo's field only. So one thing to note is Tojo's field is permanent, while Aikawa's is 8 turns. But if you factor in the SP count, which is 15 for Aikawa's, by the time Aikawa can put up the field, your DPS should be set up already. So the SP count isn't really that big of a deal. She also gets a skill that costs 5 SP that only raises her own attack by a lot. It's pretty useless on any debuffer, and Aikawa basically only has debuffing Memorias out. So unless she gets a DPS Memoria, this skill kind of sucks. Overall, I say she's an A+ tier, just better than SS1 Tojo, but not by too much, and her Miko outfit is really pretty. With that out of the way, let's talk about one that I have a lot to say. It's the Kimono Kuda Satomi. It's the Dark Blaster. Her EX skill costs 14 SP. It's AoE dark damage. It causes big devastation rate, but if it hits enemy weakness, which is slash or dark, it will deal slightly increased damage and causes a massive devastation rate instead. So compared to Suit Cutting, it's far weaker, since AoE content is niche and usually doesn't call for a blaster. For example, like Anachronies are usually single target, so you can't even use her there effectively. So Cutting gets a hit count buff that just completely outweighs the no multi-target aspect in this game, and then because she will be automatically doing crazy devastation rate per hit, and just to compare, if they both hit enemy weakness, Kuda will be doing 120%, while Cutting does 255% devastation rate. That is more than double. And then you might be saying, but Kuda is dark and Cutting is light, and they'll be hitting different weaknesses, so you can't really compare them to each other. And you're correct, but in the near future, we'll be getting Dark Edohide, which is just better for most content, since she can up her own hit count as well, which means more devastation rate for Edohide, and Kuda can't do that. Yeah, it kind of sucks. She also gets a skill that costs 6 SP that does big devastation rate and ups dark skill damage. This cannot stack, and it will get used up per cast. It's also only single target, so yeah, it's not even good for farming. As you can see, she is beaten up by her competitors. She's not so great, to be completely honest. However, everything will change for Kuda when master skills get introduced. So to keep it short, later on in the games, certain characters, not Memorias, characters, will have 3 challenges you have to complete in order to unlock their master skill. It can come in all forms. It can be damaging skills, to buff skills, to passives. Kuda's master skill is a passive that deploys a rice field. I'm not joking, that's actually what it's called, at the beginning of the battle for free, permanently, that increases the damage of all skills by around 40%. It also heals a small amount every turn, which is just another nice buff to have. The rice field can instantly dispel enemy fields turn 0 from her just existing in the front line. Yeah, nah, she's not aura farming. She's rice farming, baby. Since the field is not element specific, penetrative criticals from Memorias like Eiling SS1, the buffed one, gets buffed as if they weren't broken already. And if you don't know, penetrative criticals basically ignores enemy weakness and does the full damage as if they were weak to them. The only downside to these Memorias with penetrative criticals is that they can't benefit from element buffs, debuffs, and fields, but with the master skill, Kuda can give them a field now, which is just a flat 40% buff from her just existing in the front. When she gets her master skill, it's just a huge buff to all Kudas. And I just thought it would be fun to talk about this. Overall, C+ tier right now, but will become A just from Kuda being Kuda, basically. Oh, and also, JP Heavenbird's Red just released announcements for 2 new Memorias as well. And one of them, fun fact, is Tsukishiro Monaka. She's getting a new Memoria in the JP version, and just look at these two, just look at the 2 arts for them, and yeah, just, you know, fun little Easter egg. Yeah, and if you play chapter 3, you already know the significance of them 2 being together, and you know, this is a really nice thing to see. It's really nice that they did this. It's like a callback to an earlier Memoria for JP. It's a new one in global, but you know, I like how they're releasing basically at the same time. It's kind of cool. Thanks for watching. This vid was incredibly fun to make. Just look at the long ass script I had to make for this. If you also enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. Any sort of support is appreciated. I'll see you guys in the next video, whenever that is, because they keep releasing Memorias left and right and I can't keep up. So yeah, bye bye.